Guys, it's me, Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over my May TBR. This is a very short video for you guys because I was on a book buying ban in May, so end of video. Kidding. There were four books that I got this month. One was a Fairy Loot and 3 were pre-orders. So there's that. I did actually get 4 books, but surprisingly, when I went from like 34 books 14 books last month to 4 books in May, I think it's a really good deal. I didn't really break my buying ban because I didn't let Fairy Loot. Fairy Loot doesn't count. Book of the month didn't count, even though I didn't get book of the month because I didn't fill any of the books as the picks for May. And it didn't count, and so I only got 3 pre-orders. So bitches on top of shit. Book buying ban is over. Expect a lot more books in June. Even though where my finances are right now, it's not happening. But yeah. So let's get to it. So the first book that I got, we'll talk about, is Fairy Loot, and it is Silver in Their Bones by Alexandra Braken. I read this book already, and did I read this in May? Did I read you in May? I think I read this in May. Yeah, I read this last month. But, I believe I read it last month. What pick was it? This? Or Bones? Okay, I'm not gonna waste any more time thinking of it. But I already read this book. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It is about a girl who, her and her brother are magic, they are like magical smugglers. They are like treasure hunters, and they like look for these things in sorceress tombs and these magical artifacts, and it's really dangerous because there's a bunch of curses. Well, our main character and her younger brother were abandoned by their adoptive father figure one night after a job, and he's been missing for 7 years. And there is a new relic that everybody's looking for, and the last known place was with their adoptive father. So they have to go and find. It also has a lot of Arthurian legend interwoven in this book. I really enjoyed this. It took about like 100 pages for me to get into it, but I ended up really enjoying it. So this is since it's a Fairy Loot edition, we have the standard cover, gorgeous spine. We have sprayed edges, and then this is the sprayedness, like the sprayed edges. It's got this gorgeous naked hardback, and then it's got awesome end papers. This is not the kind of art I would have used for this book. I think this art is a little too bright and cheerful. I would have used something a little darker to fit the tone of it. But I still really enjoyed this book. Fairy Loot knocked it out of the park with this book. This book is beautiful. So the next book I got was a copy of a book I already have, but it is another copy of Anther and Santi Were Here by Jonny Garza Villa. This is about Anther. They are a non-binary muralist, and they are fired from their family's taqueria because their family wants them to actually work on their art before they go to college, and they are replaced by Santi, who is a undocumented worker, and Anther is instantly really horny for him, and I'm about to start this. I'm really excited to start this. And they start to fall for each other, and I'm just really excited to read this. I loved Jonny Garza Villa's last book, and I'm very excited to read this. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, so I can't wait to get into this any moment. Next is another book that I'm really excited for, but I'm way behind on, so I can't get into it. But it is a book I didn't know we were ever going to get. It is The Sun and the Star by Miss Riordan and Mark Oshiro. This is another book in the Percy Jackson world. This book follows Nico D'Angelo and his love interest, which I don't know if I'll say their name because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read anything. But this book follows Nico as he goes back into Tartarus to look for a friend. I'm very excited to get into this. I love Nico in the series. I want to reread Percy Jackson next year because I'm doing my Throne of Glass readathon this year. It's not going to be a readathon but I want to reread the Percy Jackson series, so I think that'll be the big series I'm rereading next year. And I will eventually get to this when I finish the reread, and I'm also really excited for the show, but I am very excited to get into this eventually. Oh, the end papers are awesome. It's like a map. That's cool. Oh, this is cool. So you got that as the end. Let me take this off because I didn't even notice. But the end papers are like an awesome map. I'm guessing, that's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Very excited to get into this, though. Like, super duper, uber excited. So the last book I have to share for y'all is a graphic novel, or bind up, and it is Superman, Son of Kal-El, Volume 3, Volume 4. I want to say this is Volume 3. Yeah, Volume 3 by Tom Taylor. Art by Nicole Menez, Cyan Termini, and Clayton Henry. So this book follows Jonathan Kent. He is the son of Superman and Lois Lane, and he is covering for Superman while Clark Kent, Superman, is off planet, dealing with his own issues. And this is the follow-up of what's been happening in the other two arcs, where this leader of this country has been experimenting on his people, and he kind of wants to like take over as supers. And so Superman has to stop him and save the day. Very excited to get into this. I know this also introduces Dreamer, which was a trans character that was introduced in the Supergirl TV show. This is her first time appearing in the comics, I believe. And then it looks gorgeous and naked. These ones have been looking good naked. So I'm very excited to get into this. I read the first 2 volumes earlier this year and really enjoyed it. And so I will excitedly get into it. I've loved Jonathan Kent as a new character and where he's gone. And just the fact that we now have like more queer representation in the super family. So I really appreciated that. So yeah, those are the 4 books I've gotten. I think because I've read... Oh, that's tough to say which one. I mean, my favorite book of all the books I've gotten because I've read it is probably... Silver in Their Bones, but Anton and Santi are already knocking it out, and I haven't even started it yet. But I am very excited to read all of these books. Let me know what books you've bought in May, where you also want a book buying ban, or you want a book buying ban now. I think in the total of spring, which for me is April, May, March. I don't know why I counted it that way. I bought a total of 34 books, so I'm very excited to start my summer list. But yeah, I will see y'all later. Bye!